Secret Ya Wadoud 141 times for 7 days. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today we're going to explore a deep spiritual secret, the invocation of the divine name, Ya Wadoud, repeated 141 times for 7 days. A secret that is not magic, but a key to love, healing, and closeness to Allah. But before diving into this practice, let's ask ourselves a question. Back-end index pointing right, what does it really mean to seek Allah's love and affection in our lives? Open book Wadoud. Indeed, those who believe and do righteous deeds, the most merciful will bestow affection on them. Surah Maryam 96. The name Ya Wadoud. Among the sublime names of Allah, there is one that resonates with a particular warmth in the heart. Ya Wadoud. This name does not simply evoke love in the limited sense that we know, but absolute, unconditional, and infinite love. Ya Wadoud is the one who loves his servants beyond their faults, beyond their weaknesses, beyond even what they can imagine. It is the love that precedes creation, the love that envelopes existence, the love that remains when everything disappears. We sometimes forget that true love is not a feeling that is spoken, but a reality that is lived. In a society where affection is often confused with mere words, Allah reminds us that love is an act of mercy. The story of the man who came to question the Prophet is a striking example. When he asked, "Who most deserves my love and kindness?" The Prophet's response was not a theory, but a profoundly human truth. "Your mother." 3 times he insisted, and 3 times the same answer came back. Only then did the Father come. This insistence shows that love is first proven by acts of devotion, patience, and mercy. For the mother is the one who embodies sacrificial love, the one who comes close to the divine attribute. And by loving our parents, especially our mothers, we taste a part of what Allah showers upon us by His name, Ya Wadoud. The Quran describes this divine love poignantly. Open book, indeed, those who believe and do righteous deeds, the most merciful will bestow affection on them. Maryam 96. This verse reveals that Allah's affection is not an abstract concept. It is a light placed in hearts, a sweetness that is reflected in our relationships, a peace that descends when we choose faith and good deeds. So let me ask you a question, you who are listening to these words. When was the last time you transformed your love into a concrete gesture of mercy? Not a word, not a promise, but a silent, pure action that made someone smile or soothed a pain. Because this is what it means to live Ya Wadoud. To love as Allah loves with tenderness, constancy, and depth. The secret of 141 repetitions. There is, in the names of Allah, a subtle power that sensitive hearts perceive. When one repeats a divine name, it is not a simple mechanical repetition. It is a breath, a resonance, an echo that crosses the soul. And among these names, of Wadoud has a special strength, because divine love is the most powerful energy that exists. Why repeat 141 times this sacred name? This number was not chosen at random. In the science of letters and numerical values called white, each Arabic letter has a value. By adding those that make up the name Ya Wadoud, we obtain 141. Thus, each repetition becomes a key that attunes to the spiritual vibration of that name. It is as if you are tuning your heart to a melody that has always existed, but which you have not yet fully heard. But be careful, this is not a magic formula. It is not repetition that works, but intention, sincerity, and conscience that you put into each invocation. Each Ya Wadoud becomes a pearl of light, a beat that aligns your heart with the love of Allah. The Quran reminds us of this divine promise. Open book, call on me, I will answer you. Ghafir 60. Every time you say Ya Wadoud, you are not just repeating a word. You are calling out to the one who is love. You are knocking at the door of the Lord of the universe, saying to him, "O Allah, I want to taste your affection. I want your love to flow into my life." A wise man said, "Whoever invokes Ya Wadoud with sincerity sees the hearts around him transformed. Even those who were hostile to him become benevolent. for Allah places a light of love on his face. Imagine this. You sit down, you repeat quietly with concentration 141 times Ya Wadoud. At first, it's your lips that move. Then your tongue gets tired and your heart takes over. Until you no longer just hear your words, but feel a warmth, an inner softness, as if you were enveloped. This is the secret. It is not you who calls, it is Allah who allows you to call. And through this repetition, He brings you closer to Himself through love. Practice for 7 days. Imagine a moment of silence. The world around you is bustling. The sounds of life are constantly going on, but you decide to stop. You perform your ablutions. The cool water flows over your face and soothes your heart. You sit alone in a corner of your house, preparing to enter into an intimate encounter with Allah. This is the practice of the name of Wadoud. It is not a simple repetition. It is an inner journey. During 7 consecutive days, choose a fixed time, after the Far prayer, when the world is still asleep, or after the Isha prayer, when night envelopes everything. There, you settle into the quiet. You close your eyes, and you begin. One by one, the Ya Wadoud fall from your lips. You count them. 141. This precise number becomes like a key that opens a spiritual door. Every time you say Ya Wadoud, you are imbued with divine love. You let it penetrate your heart. The secret is in consistency. 7 days, no more, no less. Each day becomes a step, as if you were climbing an inner mountain. The first day, you feel strangeness. The second, a small light. The third, your heart lightens. The fourth, you begin to enjoy invoking. The fifth, tears well up without you understanding why. The sixth, you feel an unusual peace. And the seventh, you finally understand that Allah's love cannot be explained. It must be lived. The Quran describes this state of calm to us. Open book, verily, it is in the remembrance of Allah that hearts find tranquility. Ya Wadoud 28. And at the end of each session, when you finish your 141 repetitions, there is a precious moment, the dua. There, you open your heart as one opens a house to an expected guest. You speak to Allah without constraint, with your words, your wounds, your hopes. You say to Him, Ya Wadoud, fill my life with your love, make my heart gentle, heal my relationships, enlighten my family. It's not the duration that matters, but the sincerity. You may not see anything spectacular right away, but inside something changes. You become calmer, more tender, more confident. Allah's love acts like invisible water watering parched soil. This is why this cycle of 7 days is a school of the heart. It is a discipline that opens a door that many seek without knowing where to knock. Spiritual fruits. There are things that cannot be measured with numbers. Inner calm, gentleness in a word, peace that descends into a home. All of these are priceless, and yet these are the fruits of Ya Wadoud. A man recounted that he lived in constant turmoil, arguments with his family, the resentment of some friends, the burden of work. He felt as if he were carrying an invisible burden. One day, on the advice of a scholar, he decided to invoke Ya Wadoud 141 times, every evening for 7 days. The problems didn't magically disappear, but he says, my heart was transformed. Where I once responded with anger, I began to respond with gentleness. Where I felt rejected, I felt an inner warmth. And surprisingly, the relationships around me began to soften, as if Allah were placing an invisible light between me and others. This is the effect of Ya Wadoud. Divine love does not just stay in you. It trains on you become more patient, more tolerant, more luminous. And the hearts around you, even closed ones, warm without understanding why. The Quran says it with incredible force. Open book, we have indeed created man, and we know what his soul suggests to him, and we are nearer to him than his jugular vein. Kaf 16. When you repeat Ya Wadoud, you invite this divine closeness to manifest itself. You discover that Allah's love is not just a distant idea, but a living, intimate presence that accompanies you even in your daily actions. A woman, for her part, testified, my house was filled with tension. My husband and I no longer understood each other. I began to invoke Ya Wadoud. The first fruit was my own heart. I stopped seeing my husband as an enemy. Then, without me even telling him, he became gentler, more caring. It was as if Allah had changed our atmosphere. This is what happens when one imbues oneself with the name Ya Wadoud. It is not a forced external change, but an internal transformation that gently acts like a perfume. You change, and the world around you changes with you. And is this not the greatest miracle? Not that the mountains are moved, but that your heart, which seemed frozen, becomes alive and tender again, capable of loving as Allah loves. There are words that are not meant to be simply heard, but to be lived. Ya Wadoud is one of them. This name is not limited to an invocation repeated 141 times. It is a breath, a perfume, a light which settles in the hearts of those who call it with sincerity. When you close your eyes and say Ya Wadoud, you are not just uttering a sound. You are conversing with the one who loves you with a love that nothing can equal. A love that does not wait for your perfection to manifest itself. A love that was there before you were even aware of your existence. And if your heart is hard, if your life is full of trials, if you feel alone or misunderstood, know that this name is a key. Each repetition is like gentle rain falling on arid land. It does not change everything in an instant, but it nourishes, it purifies, it transforms. The Quran reminds us of this truth in words that resonate like an eternal echo. Open book, and my love is prescribed for those who love me, and who love one another in me, and who sit together for me, and who visit one another for me, and who spend for me. Hadith Qudsi, reported by Malik and Ahmad. Do you not feel the call of this name? It invites you to love beyond yourself, to reach out where you would have liked to close your fist, to smile where you would have liked to turn away your face. So ask yourself this question. If Allah, the Almighty, the one who owns the heavens and the earth, has chosen to call himself Ya Wadoud, the all-loving, why still look elsewhere for what he alone can offer you? Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let your soul answer this call. Repeat it with tenderness, with tears, with confidence. Ya Wadoud, Ya Wadoud, Ya Wadoud. And watch. Watch your heart open like a flower in the sun. Watch the heaviness gently melt away. Watch divine love take root within you. Because at the end of the path, it is not just a 7-day practice. It is an eternal encounter with the one who is love. O Allah, Ya Wadoud, fill our hearts with your love. Make us loving and loved. Unite us in mercy, and make our lives reflect the light of your name. Amen.